I'm just curious. Why did Bosch do that? Hi guys, welcome back. What is going on with this guard? I don't get it. So I don't know if you can see this from there, but this guard stops about an inch away from this back plate here. This chip reflector, or whatever they call this thing. There's about an inch gap there. I'll see if you can see it a little bit closer here. Get a little view on that spot right there-ish. And you pull it up, you let it drop. It's a good inch away. I don't know if you can see that. It's a good 1 inch away from that end. So about 1 inch of that blade is exposed. And I thought maybe there was an adjustment I had to make to close that gap up. And there are no adjustments to extend this further down. It's just stopping on the end of that groove in the plastic. So the question is, why would they do that? Why would they leave a 1 inch gap there? Maybe you guys can give me a hint on this one. Maybe you guys can explain it to me in the comments. What is going on? Why would they do that? Why would Bosch do that? Let me show you this. The camera. This is a picture of the unit, a little closer. And you can see that they drew it with the arm extended all the way up. They drew it with that space sitting there. They drew it with that extra blade exposed. That blade exposed at the edge. So they knew what they did it on purpose. They designed it that way. Here's another picture. The same thing. Different. The other side. The other side of the same thing. Here you go. I'll just hold it still for a second. And that guard isn't fully closed. So it's not like they don't know about it. It's not like I had to make any adjustments for it. That's the way it is. That's just the way it is. Now, is there a safety issue with it? Is there a safety issue because that's not closed? I don't really think there's a big safety issue. It's just a curiosity. For me, it's just a curiosity. I'm just curious as to why they would do that. So the only safety issue I can see is the difference between it being open and closed. Does it look like that this guard is not being stuck open by some debris? Or is it completely closed? Is it in the closed position? You got open, and should there be debris and stuff stuck on this thing, you have open, and then you have open. And open a little bit more, where the guard isn't operating correctly. The thing isn't coming down all the way. That it doesn't have to be cleaned. And just knowing that it does is difficult. Knowing that it needs to be cleaned might be difficult. You can't tell the difference between open and open. And open. If that's closed, then what's open? That, or that, or that, or that. Where is it? You know what I'm getting at? So really the only safety issue I can see is the idea of it. Is it open or is it closed? Is it functioning properly or not? And if that's the closed position, how do you know what the open position is? Is that when it's sticking? And how do you recognize that? Or is that when it's sticking? Now I recognize it's sticking. Or is that when it's sticking? That's not when it's sticking. That's when it's operating properly. So hopefully you can understand what I'm trying to say. As far as safety goes, that if you don't have a closed position, and this is closed, any other position looks similar. A guard that's sticking looks the same as a guard that's not. You can't see me playing with the saw, can you? Oh my god. Let me see this. There we go. So, what I'm saying is, if that is closed, and the guard is, and that's a view of the guard working properly, then what is that? Is that a view of the guard not working properly? The guard not coming down. The guard mechanism is all jammed up with junk and stuff. That's the look of a guard not coming down all the way. That's the look of the guard needs to be cleaned out so it operates correctly. That is a view of the guard. That's an example of the view of the guard operating correctly. So, I just find it curious. Honestly do. For instance, here's another example. Here's the, see if I can turn this so I can see it. There's a view of, there you go, the Makita chop saw. Go back a little bit. That's the Makita chop saw. And the guard on this is fully closed, like most of them are. So I know right off the bat that this guard is working fine. I walk by it, I go, yeah, it's working okay. If it was like this, I walked by it and it was like that, I would think, well, wait, that guard isn't working correctly. Something's jammed in it. It needs to be cleaned out. Because that's the big difference there between that and that. Slim to none chance. I'm just curious. Why did Bosch do that? I've seen just as a something to say. I've seen this Bosch saw reviewed on about 9 different YouTube channels, and none of them referred to that gap. None of them said anything about the gap. They did criticize of some of the features of this thing, but for the most part, well, none of them mentioned the gap. Good 9 YouTube channels were reviewing this machine, this exact machine. And when they were reviewing it, I was watching them, and I was noticing that their guard was not going down all the way. And I thought, aha, their guard isn't going down all the way either. And I'm waiting for them to say something. I'm waiting for them to say, oh yeah, this doesn't matter. But none of them did. None of them mentioned anything about the guard. None of them mentioned anything about it. So all you YouTubers out there, Why? Why did you not say anything about the gap? My guess is you didn't notice it. That's my guess. My guess is you didn't notice the gap. The only reason I noticed the gap was because I was trying to get the arm to go up. And styrofoam was caught in the thing. So that was it. This is a quick little video. It was meant to be a quick little video of why. Why is there a gap there? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me why there's a gap? Can anybody guess why there's a gap? Because I don't know. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to get out there and build something.